on specific topics rather today. And she's actually out here, the First Lady of Change. Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Tawag.
You can take the mic down.
I'm too tall, hey. Even when I'm in my heels, I'm like very, very tall.
You are.
I'm blessed like that.
So how are you doing, man?
No, I'm amazing. I'm phenomenal.
You
I'm a
sound
woman.
amazing.
I'm amazing.
You smell amazing.
Ah.
You look amazing.
It's the Pandora effect.
Now, for someone that doesn't know who Mrs. Pandora is, can you please just give us like a young synopsis of who you are and what exactly you do? Because now you're a life coach and you actually speak for a living. That's what you do. You are out here changing people's lives and changing the way they look at themselves, and which is one thing that I really, really love about you. So now for someone that doesn't know you, for someone that's actually the first time tuning in today, who is Mrs. Pandora Mabai?
Okay, I'm Pandora Mabai, the First Lady of Change.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a child of God above all else.
Uh-huh.
I'm a mother.
Uh-huh.
I'm a voice for women who are dying silent.
Uh-huh.
I'm the change that Africa needs right now, whereby we are standing up and we're being a voice for those that are speaking transformation, but we're actually doers of this transformation by taking our stand and taking our position as women and saying that change begins with you. So I'm a public speaker. I'm a writer. I love what I do. For me, my assignment on earth is to impact lives. And that is the greatest assignment. Wherever you are, whether you're a president, whether you're a cleaner, you are there to make a difference in someone else's life. So for me, I've been gifted with the power of a voice that speaks with authority, that changes the atmosphere and changes the people's mindsets, because I shake you out of mediocrity into a purpose-driven lifestyle. That is Pandora in a nutshell.
Sure. I love this lady, man. Can you be my mom? Can I adopt you as my mom?
Trust me, I've got so many kids around the world. You're welcome. Just come fill in the Pandora's box.
Okay, cool. So now we are going to be talking about some of the issues that actually face women in the year 2018, and the new world order, if we may put it that way, And one of the things that actually really, really face women is sexism and, of course, gender bias, and whereby we live in a patriarchal world. We actually touched on this like last week, we live in a patriarchal world, so much so that, women are looked down on, they're not even given the credible positions that they actually deserve, And what is your take on that one, whereby, like men constantly just look down on women? And, sexism and, of course, gender bias is still continuing in today's day and age.
All right. Number one, each and every woman needs to understand that you have the power within you to do what needs to be done. I'll make an example about myself. I'm a marketing graduate and I was serving in marketing and working and all of that. But when I discovered my purpose and who I am, I had to get out of my comfort zone and raise who Pandora is and ensure that who I am, I'm not waiting for the government to do it for me. I'm not waiting for my mother to do it for me. I'm not waiting for someone who is in a power position. When you've got something that's great in you, just do what you've got to do. Stand up for yourself, number one. Number two, the reason why women are not respected, whenever I get into social media, it breaks my heart to see women selling themselves short. If you want to be treated like a queen, act like a queen. Our brothers got to a space whereby they no longer respect us. But if you are going to post yourself naked, what are you putting out there? What are you saying about the value of a woman, about the worth of a woman? Is that what we've become as women? So it starts with us as well, respecting ourselves, understanding our worth. Because at the end of the day, social media has become your CV, number one. Social media is your CV. The CV that you put together and you send to a company, it no longer speaks of who you are. People, the bosses are going to get into social media and your character is coming out of social media. What are you posting about yourself on social media? Who are you? Because we look at you and we conclude on who you are based on what we see. So you need to start respecting yourself. And in any power position, we need women of character. We need women of integrity. We need women of substance. So if you are a slave queen, where do you fit in as a power woman?
Good question. Good question. Because now, whether we like it or not, we have this ideology whereby people say that sex sells, you know. I don't like it, because now we are out here looking down, and we have actually taken women as objects now, you know what I mean? And when you look at social media, like you said right now, you know, women are pretty much selling themselves short, you know, whereby sex is selling, because now whereas they post naked pictures of themselves, they get followers, you know. So is it really about the followers, or is it really about you as a character, you know? Because I feel like that's where the difference is right now. People are just gunning for followers and gunning for followers, gunning for likes and gunning for likes. But now at the end of the day, it's like a different reflection of who you are, you know. And somebody out there is going to look at you in a totally different way.
You know, this thing of sex.
Yeah.
Only if you understood what sex is in the first place. Sex was given to us in order for us to multiply and to build families. Sex is such a sacred thing, you understand? But people have abused it in such a way that people are trading with their bodies to get what they want. There's HIV, number one.
True.
There's HIV. How many relationships have you been in as a woman where you've given yourself sexually, where you actually got married with that person? How many guys have you slept with that have actually seen a wife material? Sex is not something for us to play with. Sex is there to give life. Life is another human being. So we need to understand that sex is a treasure that a man has to work for.
Yeah.
I was so shocked in my estate, and I was sitting by the restaurant, and I was actually talking to the manager, like I normally conversate with him.
Yeah.
He's saying, you know what, Sis Pandora, I'm worried that there will be girls coming here. Exactly what you're saying about following on social media. He says girls come here and ask of, does this guy stay here, with a photo on a phone saying, no, I met him on Instagram and he gave me the address. He said I must wait for him here. And at that moment, and the guy is saying to me, do you know how many girls he's doing that with in a day? So it's not a matter of commitment. It's a matter of that man could be a broken man that is closing the void that's within him through sexual intercourse, which a woman, when she gives you sex, it's she's giving you her body. She's giving you her life. That is why men always say, why do people fall after sex? Because sex is not something we play with. Sex is something that comes together between two people that are committed. Sex is trust. Sex is saying, I trust you that you are with me and you love me. But sex is not a guarantee that he loves you.
True.
It's not a guarantee. So if you're trading sex for you to be loved, then you need to find yourself. Who are you? What do you want? First of all, it starts with you knowing what do you want as a woman.
If you don't know what you want, at the end of the day, you're not going to get it. You know?
Exactly.
You're not going to get it.
The Gucci bag, after you have it and you've had sex for it, how do you feel afterwards as a woman? When you carry that bag, is that what your worth has become?
It's the revolution of the slave queens, they put it that way, you know. And right now we are just I don't know whether it's us as men that have actually imposed this certain lifestyle on women, whereby we use money to actually lure women into our lives, whereby we've actually become a materialistic world. So much so that if a guy doesn't have money, you know, people just don't date him. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I understand, and I feel sorry for our brothers because they are under pressure.
True.
Women have verbalized the fact that if he doesn't have money, I don't want him. But you know what? With love, you can build your heart desires from nothing together. I always ask young women, will you not be happy that he says, remember where we come from together. In love.
Yeah.
Because when you have love, you have everything.
Sure.
You have everything. There is nothing that you cannot conquer. The vision that he has for his life and what he dreams to be. But when you're coming with love as a woman, you are able to nurture that vision and make sure that it comes to life. And you are able to tell a story. Look at any successful man. Ask him a question. I don't think Patrice Motsepe started with Precious when he was Patrice Motsepe.
No.
You must listen to their story, in fact. You must listen to their story. So behind every successful man, there is a woman.
Definitely.
There is a woman that loves that man,
Definitely.
not a woman that is looking for material things from that man.
Otherwise, in the studio, we actually have Miss Pandora Mabai. Any questions you might have for this wonderful lady, man, please come through and WhatsApp us on +27 7925 44329. Any questions relating to what we're actually getting involved in today's world as young men, as young women, and of course as today's society. We actually have a WhatsApp text here coming through from Sasa Tabang. Nothing but the truth that the lady is a God-sent woman. We actually need a woman like her to actually make it clear that sex should be respected and not abused. This is actually Sasa all the way from Velcom +27 7925 44329. Radio, Dark Moby, Black Coffee, David Greta, Delilah Montague, and of course in the studio we actually have a phenomenal lady, man. She goes by the name of Pandora Mabai, the first lady of change. Please do the most, of course, and listen to this podcast. I feel like I need to have you every Wednesday, yeah?
I think I belong here every Wednesday.
I think you belong here.
No, I belong here every Wednesday.
Oh, actually, you know?
Like, I'm in, guys. I'm in. I hope Musi is listening. I'm in.
I hope so too. This Musi, I feel like we need this woman in our lives. Now, earlier on, we were actually talking about how we've actually lost the true essence of who we are as Africans, you know? And we actually touched on the fact that, you know, we've just become such a materialist world that we've actually forgotten who we are, you know? And off air, you actually touched on a very important subject. You said that we are trying so much to be Western.
Yes.
We are trying so much to be American, and we are forgetting to be African.
Yes. We are Africans by birth. God did not make a mistake when he made us Africans. He knew that this is who we are, and we need to embrace that. We need to embrace who we really are. What media is actually selling now is that what America is better than us, and we need to be them. Be content under your own skin. Find your identity, because I feel that especially with our youth, they've lost their identity.
Sure.
They have lost their identity completely. I was watching a little girl from America, black American girl, on Dr. Phil.
On Dr. Phil, I saw
Yes,
oh my goodness.
she is so convinced that she is white.
I couldn't believe it.
She is standing and saying, I am white, and this girl is black.
And she said, I am better than black people. I'm like, have you looked in the mirror?
Exactly. And there is nothing wrong with being white. There's nothing wrong with being black, but just be who you are and be content with who you are. So I feel as if people have lost their identity. That's where the root begins.
Yeah.
People have lost their identity. Come back to who you are.
But now, okay, cool. You know, we understand, I understand that we've actually lost our identity, and there's so many factors to blame, you know? But now, there is always like a core root on what to blame. We understand. I don't know whether to blame it on TV. I don't know, because TV was pretty much like the first thing that emerged and setting us this perfect image of what America is, you know? And maybe also our parents not having control over us watching the TV or over us watching the contents that we watch. You understand?
Yes.
So much so that we are trying so much to be a materialistic world, slave queens, weaves, blah, 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 girls selling themselves short for sex. You understand?
It also starts at home as well. The parents, you'd find that a child goes to a private school and then at home they don't speak even their mother tongue. That is another problem, you know, because when a child is small, they're able to grasp so many languages. So it's an opportunity for parents to stretch that child and see the capabilities of that child. But because people have tried to westernized everything. I'm a mother. My child goes to a private school, but my child speaks Xhosa fluently.
Yeah.
Fluently.
And it should be.
And it's how we draw the lines as parents, because I used to tell my daughter, Shalom, in the house, my baby, sit at his close. Here we are Xhosa. In school, you speak English, because she's already grasped English.
Yeah.
So if I'm only going to speak English to her, what am I saying to my child about who we really are?
That we don't know who we are. You know?
What are we saying? So the parents are also, they have a role to play. Parents have a role to play, that we are Africans and we need to embrace who we are. It's great for us to know English. It's great for us to grow into what the 21st century is all about. But in order for a child to even discover their purpose, they need to know their identity first.
True.
You can't discover your purpose without your identity.
If you don't know where you come from, like, I mean...
No, you can't.
You know? It's like a tree without roots. You can't grow.
You can't.
You really can't grow. But now, we actually have a WhatsApp text here coming to you from Tandegile in Johannesburg. She comes to and says, good morning, my king. Thank you for bringing such a lady into the studio. I don't have a question, but I want to actually appreciate her presence. I love the words that she's actually saying, and I believe that many women need to actually hear what she's actually saying, and especially the 2000 generation, which is doing unspoken things and taking part in things which are uncontrolled. I mean, it actually shocks me to actually hear that the kind of things which these young people say, and I see that they lack positive role models. Thank you again for the inspiring words.
Thank you, the Tandegile.
Tandegile from Auchi.
Thank you, Tandegile. Thank you so much.
Now, the 2000s. Okay, I'm a 90s generation.
But a different 90s generation. I have to give you a round of applause for that. Complete different.
I'm a 90s generation. But now, this generation of 2000s, they've actually been dubbed as probably the worst generation so far, because they are indulging in things that we did on a very later stage. You know, I started drinking when I finished high school, you know? I started going to parties after high school, you know? I started doing things pretty much after high school. You know, I finished my grades and then I went to do those things. But now, you see kids, I saw a picture, I don't know whether you saw it online. Now, it was actually a 12-year-old kid posing on social media. She is pregnant. Posing on social media, pregnant, with a happy face on. You understand? 12 years age. 12 years old. And I do not know what the problem is. You understand? And I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, we're out here pointing fingers at them at 2000, but really, what are we doing? You understand? To better them as the young generation.
And that is why some of us have gotten out of our comfort zones, because when I look outside my window, my heart breaks for Africa. Like, it breaks for South Africa, especially South Africa, given the fact that I've stayed in Ghana and I've seen another different side of things. I've been in Zambia. I've seen a complete different African country compared to South Africa. And yet we are such a blessed country in this continent. There is no blessed country as South Africa in the continent of Africa. Yet we do not appreciate what we have and who we are. So what's happening, it has a lot to do with, it goes back to people rising up and taking their position, you know. When I looked, as I'm saying, outside my window, I was like, I can't sit back. I've been given a precious gift that is able to transform lives. And if I'm sitting in this office and I'm consumed in this office, I feel like I'm allowing my people to die when I'm actually a voice. Even if I change one life, it's okay. That's the attitude that we need to have. What are you doing? Don't look at what the government can do. Don't look at what corporate can give you funds to do whatever event that's going to be life transforming. Where you are right now, whether you are in the township and there is a child next door that is out of hand, as a mother that is next door, what are you doing? Because when we grew up, every mother is your mother. Every mother is your mother. Every mother has a right to reprimand you, you know? So nowadays, what are you doing from where you're sitting? What are you doing to ensure that you have spoken life to this child? Because we must remember that words create.
True.
When you speak, whether they listen to you at that moment, whether they don't, but one day they will think of your words. So it's time for us to stand up and not to say, no, it doesn't affect my life and my child. We are fine. So why must I worry about the next person? Then how are we uniting each other? Then why are we on earth? Why are we here? And how are you uniting Africa? How are you building up an African child?
Wow. Woo, Mrs. Pandora. I feel like I can just listen to you, just you. Please keep on talking.
That is why I say I belong every Wednesday.
Now we actually have Ace in Zimbabwe. Morning King, no question, but just want to appreciate this powerful woman. I think she needs to pop by every morning. We need this type of conversations to actually go with good music. This is actually Ace in Zimbabwe. Thank you so much, Ace. Elaine came through and sent us a voice note and she deleted it. We actually have Kinebe. Kinebe comes through and says that on the issue of gender biasm and sexism, I loved what she actually had to say. I still have a big concern with how our society is treating us as women. Not all of us are slave queens and not all of us are selling ourselves short. So why is it that men constantly treat us like we are the general people that sell themselves short on social media? So that is the question from Kennedy.
You know what? A man. Men are generally born afraid of women. I think I've said this to you before.
You did say.
Men are like babies.
Yeah.
You understand? And when a man meets a woman of substance, your actions as a woman, they unfold who you are. They tell your story. And I speak from my own personal experience and my journey, you understand? Because I was a woman that was getting married to a multimillionaire and I was doing it for all the material things. I was like the slave queens, you understand? I was once there, back in the days, whereby I did not understand my worth. And I did not understand my value, you understand? So, but when I ask myself, but now that I have all these things that I have, who am I? I still had the void. Those things don't define you. They don't define you at the end of the day. So she needs to keep being that woman that she is. And she needs to put her foot down. Many guys will come who are chance takers. I've experienced that too. Who they look at your body, they look at your looks, and they think you are one of them. But stand your ground. Rather have many men walking away from you and you walk away with your dignity. As a woman, walk away with your dignity. It's their loss. I've had guys, and I mean celebrities, who tried. And I would say, I'm sorry, but I'm not the girl that you think I am. And go. It's okay. Because you are not going to disturb and devalue Pandora for me to fit what you want at this moment, which is most probably a sexual release that you want, whatever you want at that moment. You understand? People come to people for different things, but stand your ground. Let them walk, and you walk away with your dignity.
Mrs. Pandora Mabai. Wow. Wonderful lady out here in the studio, man. +2779254439. We still have for the next 30 minutes. So any questions or any thoughts or anything that you actually want to say to this wonderful lady, please come through and talk to us right here on #MorningMayhem. Otherwise, right now we're diving straight into the last hour of the show. #Woman Crush Wednesday Jam. And today we are crushing on Mrs. Pandora Mabai.